Okie dokie, you are on.
We are on. Okay, so technical difficulties
Take 3.
out the wazoo today. Take 3. We're getting kind of a pro at this. I'm Shane, if you don't know. This is Junktique. Brain just stopped and spaced. My name is Shane. That's Miss Christy, and behind the camera is JD.
Hello.
Today, it has been a long time since we have done this, but I'm doing a Paint With Me live. You're going to paint along with me, watch, hopefully learn some stuff. That's why Miss Christy is here. We will be using chalk paint, of course. So we've got Annie Sloan Old White, Annie Sloan Old Ochre, Annie Sloan Cocoa, and Annie Sloan Original. I have a handful of brushes, more than I really need, to be honest, and a little bucket of water, because who knows what we're going to do. Miss Christy, and Mina, can you go put water in that really quick? Yes, sir. Okay, so we're going to start off. So this is what we're painting here. This is an antique Eastlake style secretary. You know, it's got the drop down, you know, fun stuff for letters and all those fun things. It has already been painted, and I am not in love with whatever this is. It's just not working for me. So we're going to make something shabby, and we're going to blend all kinds of colors, and we're going to do everything we can in the time we have allotted, which isn't a whole lot. So we're just going to jump right to it.
So what color are you starting with?
I'm going to start with Old White.
Old White.
And as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you don't have any questions, let me know where you're watching from. We haven't done one of these in a long time, and that used to be our favorite part, to see where everybody was watching from. So no matter what, leave a comment, let us know where you're watching from. But if you have questions, let us know. Even if we don't get to it in this video, we can answer them afterwards. Okay, so I have my Annie Sloan round brush, and I'm just going to go every which way. So the thing to know here is that this finish isn't intended to be brand new, ultra sleek, smooth, and modern. I want this thing to look like it was painted a year after it was made, which was quite a while ago. So I want the finish to be old. When you're doing old finishes, you really should decide at the beginning, do I want my piece to look new, or do I want it to look old? And that way you can start from the beginning. If it's going to be old, you want different thicknesses in the paint. You want mottled pieces around the edges. You want thinner pieces here, and you want all kinds of things, all of which you create from the very beginning. So I'm just going to go every which way. My goal is pretty much just to cover this thing in paint. Also, as you can see, I did not sand, I did not prime it. Just like this piece right here that I've been working on for all eternity. You want to show them that? I have not sanded or primed that. There's no need to. Chalk paint bonds better than most primers do. So it's really quite redundant to prime before. And it sticks to everything. So this will be really good, really durable. And it's so much easier. It chops out so much work. So anyways, again, I'm just going every which way, doing what I can to cover this thing in paint. I'm not even worried on getting paint on the handle, because when it's all said and done, I'll probably once it comes to the waxing, I'll probably clear wax it, dark wax it, giving it a little more age and whatnot, and if need be, hit it with some of Annie's gilding waxes. Which are metallic gilding waxes in bright copper, bright gold, warm gold, bright silver, and dark silver.
Game changer. Gilding waxes.
Yeah, game changer is, yeah, absolutely.
Yancey's watching from Alabama.
Yancey's watching from Alabama.
Yes, and Granny says, hi, boys.
Hey, Granny.
Hi, Granny.
We need to come see you. We've been trying. I had an appointment up there the other day, but we had to reschedule it. So, again, it's really that easy. I don't know if you're noticing it, but you always want to try and hold the brush by the ferrule, which is this metal piece that holds all of the bristles here. That way, whenever you're painting, the motion is in your entire arm, not just in your wrist going up and down. It's like everywhere, going everywhere. This brush is great because it's really easy to stab the paint into all of these grooves, corners, and crevices.
Use the word scrub a lot. You're scrubbing into the corners, and if you watch him paint, when he gets to those edges, he literally scrub. Like if you're trying to clean it, just get it in there all of the different directions, and I'll get closer so you can see the texture that he's leaving. He talked about leaving all the extra textures and stuff to make it look old.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing is, I mean you think about it, if this was painted 100 years ago, it's not going to look like it was factory sprayed at IKEA. Do you know what I mean? It's going to have texture, it's going to have movement, and it's really easy to create with this paint. Really easy.
Carol asked, what do you use to clean the grime off of furniture?
I like to use a mixture of Dawn and vinegar. Like there's no crazy harsh chemicals. And it's good. That's some magical stuff. If you've never, it kind of blows my mind. A lot of people that don't know about that. So Dawn mixed with vinegar does everything. It's just a degreaser. Here in New Mexico, we have a lot of hard water. I mean, so it's awesome to spray on your shower doors, if they're glass, on your faucets, on your handles. The Dawn holds the vinegar there, and it just helps dissolve the calcium and the hard water deposits. It's magical stuff, but that's what I like to use on my furniture. And then when I wipe that down, I scrub it up really good, and then I wipe it clean to make sure I get all of the Dawn off. And then it's good to go. And there's no crazy chemicals that you could potentially be leaving on the piece or smelling.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Should always have it on hand. And vinegar is a natural deodorizer, so if anything ever has a smell to it, that gets it right out. And we get a lot of people that always say, vinegar stinks. Vinegar has no smell once it dries.
Okay, so really what I'm going to try and focus on for the sake of this video, because I know we don't have all the time in the world, is this, the front, because we're going to be using all kinds of stuff. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting my base of my old white on there. Really all I'm doing. And again, I'm wanting this to look old, and it's my favorite finish to do because you don't have to be fussy about it. I mean, I can with chalk paint you can get any kind of finish you want. Smooth and new looking, old. But my personal favorite is to make it look old because there's just no fuss.
You can really transform a piece of furniture in the matter of a couple of hours. It is fun.
And if you're seeing here, I'm even painting the handle, which is metal. The paint sticks to like everything, so...
You can see in the background this floor behind us, this black and white floor. That was our COVID project right there.
Yeah. Painted with Annie Sloan, Athenian black, and what was that, original? Yeah.
Original, yeah.
Athenian black and original. And then coated with a few coats of Annie's gloss lacquer. That thing has held up. We have moved all this furniture around a million times. We have... it gets cleaned all the time. And it's good.
Right.
Like, it has held up. In fact, that has held up so well. We have a gymnastics gym, and some of the floor in there is wonky. We've got some of the floor lacquer here and poured it in the wonky bits, just because we know it's that strong.
Yeah, it's literally holding down chunks of concrete. It's good stuff. Donna says she's watching from Texas. What part of Texas are you at, Miss Donna? We know Texas well.
Okay, so base coat. Like I said, nothing fancy. What I do want to do is open the door just to make sure I don't get it painted closed. And I do kind of want to take some of the excess off of the corners of the door.
Oh, Donna's in Lubbock.
Oh, you're not too far, Miss Donna.
Nope, not at all.
Okay, so base coat. Now let's really, really play. Let's throw in, that's old white. This is original. This is cocoa. Where's my pop topper? So we have old white, original, cocoa, and... No, old white, old ochre, cocoa, and original. So old white has got a gray base. Original has got a yellow base. Old ochre is a really creamy country off-white. Doesn't even look white compared to these, but I promise if it's by itself, it's absolutely white. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to get a little bit on there. And let's start playing in the corners.
And this is ochre?
This
Old
is
ochre?
the ochre, yes. Whoa, some like techno craziness is going on in here. And again, I don't want it to be smooth. I want random bits of texture. In fact, once it's done, you can go back and pounce it. That's technically called stippling, to help grab you some texture. I'm going to swap over to this Annie Sloan flat brush. Again, just a little bit of paint there, because I really want to line it into this groove here. And that camera may not be picking it up. Is it picking up the differences in the white?
Yeah.
Good.
Subtle, but yes.
Well, that's what you want when you're doing something old. You want something dimensional. You don't want this flat, like I just went out and spray painted it white. If you're wanting it to be authentic, at least.
Right. Yeah, it's very cream on white.
And see, this really is nothing crazy. It's just kind of playing with it. This is my favorite way to paint. This is the way everybody should paint. You should have fun with it. Now you see, I'm literally going to leave that. I want that craziness. I want that texture. The differences in color. Let's throw some ochre in these bits. Miss Christy, can you actually turn that down? I'm worried that it's gonna... Facebook likes to mute me. If you hear music in the background, Facebook likes to mute it.
Is that good?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so again, stabbing. I just want the darker ochre inside the insets of that. So that here in a minute I can go over with a dry brush and make the tops of it lighter. So you've got that dimension. It looks like dust has kind of settled in there over the course of years. Let's also take a little bit of ochre, but a really little bit. In fact, I'm going to offload most of it there and there. And take it and stuff it down in this corner bit. Then I'm going to take this, open it, and just try and get that excess so it doesn't get painted closed.
Getting things painted closed is a real thing.
Yeah. What I need is for it to dry some. Can you hand that to Miss Christie and can you grab the blower? So, Miss Christie, who is now on the back end of this camera, do you have any questions?
No, not really. You've actually answered some as you've been talking.
All right. So while we're waiting for the blow dryer, I'm going to go ahead and hit this with my base of old white. But again, this is an edge. This is a corner. I want that super textured. There you go. Okay, it's going to get a little loud just for a split second.
If you've never used chalk paint, it dries crazy fast.
It does. It dries crazy fast. And there's no smell, like, at all.
Just kidding?
Not working. We're going to try this again?
Yeah.
Totally dry.
Wow.
Totally dry. Let's play some more. Let's grab some cocoa. If you want to turn that this way, ma'am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some cocoa. And I'm going to offload it onto my bench here. And I'm going to water it down just a bit. This is fun. I haven't got to do this in a long time. Again, what I really want, I just want the pigments in that cocoa. And I'm going to take some of that, and I'm going to brush it into this bit.
Oh, wow.
And I know this may look a little crazy, but I promise the end result is going to be beautiful. We're just at the very beginning of the layers here.
Yeah, you just keep layering it until you love it. It's one of my favorite finishes too.
Oh, let's see what I've got left on my bench over here. And again, I'm going to follow the corners, the edges, the grooves. You want to take that back from Miss Christie? Hi, my son.
Okay. Carol is asking if Old White does the gray base.
Yes, Old White has the gray base, Original has the yellow base, and Pure White has just no base. It is just base. There's no color to it whatsoever. I would say Old White is definitely the favorite white by far. I'm going to take some, I don't think have we done Original yet?
No?
No, we haven't. Let's throw some Original on there. And these are workshop cans, so they've
Been around.
they've been around a while. They've been used correctly, incorrectly, so there's like bits in it from where it's dried off the thing and gone in there, but that's wonderful. I'm going to use that to my advantage.
The Annie Sloan can seal pretty amazingly, but you have to be patient when you open them. So we've even had people open our cans and destroy them. So it's they're a mess. We're very hands-on here. If you ever come in and want to try something, we'll definitely let you try something. And we just expanded our workrooms. We got all kinds of room.
Yeah.
Get all kinds of people in here.
Get a little bit more of that.
So there's you a good color comparison. That's Original on top of Old White right there.
And I hope that kind of gets across to a degree what I mean by layering. Throw some of that here. And again, this is an old finish. What you do not want, and that is what most people find the absolute hardest, is you do not want perfection. You want the imperfection. The imperfection is what makes it authentic.
Yeah, for so long, everybody's been taught paint with the grain of the wood, left and right.
Well, and you do that if you want a smooth
Right.
finish. But
It's kind of like eating everything on your plate. It's ingrained heavy.
haha, all right.
And you can see it might look like he's just painting over the color that he put on, but it's still definitely all there.
Can you turn that down some more, Miss Christie, please? Can you see that on the camera? The color difference in that.
Yeah.
Sometimes on these cameras, like it doesn't grab everything.
This one's doing pretty good.
Is it?
Time of day, this little light, I guess, but yeah, it's...
Okay, so good little base there, don't you think?
Yeah.
Now let's drop that and go with. I wish I had some pure. Christy, will you look? I do. First cabinet, second one down underneath French linen. Can you grab that for
Yes,
me,
sir.
please? What did I just grab? Some old white.
Old white.
It's a bit much. I didn't need that much. I'll take some of that down here. Can you see the color differences on that?
Yeah, there you go, right there. Oh yeah. Again, that's the difference between original and old white. Probably the two most popular whites, but completely different from each other. We also have all the whites painted on a drawer. So if you ever want to come in and see the white side by side, we have plenty of examples.
Now I'm gonna pause for a second while Miss. You gotta shake it, girl. You gotta get it good. You gotta bring what's on the bottom of that can up. Like go to town. Like blah, 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 blah. Oh, you didn't see that. Watched on my fat jiggle. Yeah, can you see this? Like I want you to try and get into that.
Oh yeah.
Like it's getting there. So it's like layers upon layers upon layers, and it's different colors and it's different tones, and it's fun and yummy.
So you can definitely see.
All right, Miss Christie, your arms tired?
Yes.
We know how that goes. I promise.
Been there many times.
All right, now this is Annie Sloan Pure. Do you want to do like a top shot? So you've got move that one. You have pure, old white, and original. So you have no tint base, you have gray base, and you have yellow base. Let us take some of this here pure. And let's start with like a wash. So again, I'm going to plop some on my table here. Gonna mix that up, pull it out. And let's see. I got this. It got contaminated on my table because I just did a brown there. So that's not gonna work. Try it this way.
Yeah, there you go.
Now I don't really like using water on paint, chalk paint. It displaces the pigments. I know a lot of people do like to. I don't, and I don't ever really encourage it. But it's kind of like do as I say, not as I do. You're not seeing me do this. On a real note. Okay, so now what I want is I want this centerpiece to be a little brighter than the edges. So I'm going to take that and I'm just going to kind of throw some water on that. I'm going to try and blend that out a little bit.
For those of you who are into makeup, he's highlighting.
Yeah, I'm highlighting. That's what I'm doing here. But what I did was I just mixed that all together because I used too much water. But that's the fun part. You just sit here and you play with it. You take some of that over here. You want it to look old and layered. You really don't want to see paintbrush, you know. You don't want it to look like you dry brushed it. That's not my goal here. Can I have that dryer again, please?
Of course, of course.
Like I said, I used kind of a bit too much water. Boom! Alright, let's take some more of this bright white. That's my goal here now. This would be much easier with a round brush. Do I have a clean round brush?
No.
Can you grab me one from the stand, Miss Christie?
I think it's important for people to also know that, nothing's ever final. If you don't like it, you paint over it and you do it again.
Exactly.
Even once you seal a piece of furniture,
Ooh, that's a big one. Can we have a smaller one?
even once you seal furniture with the wax, as long as you're going back over it with Annie Sloan, it's all, you can always start again.
You see, since I've begun to create texture, do you see how when I go over it, it just grabs the top of the texture? That's what I want. Do you see this?
Yeah, just hitting the highs.
And don't go one direction. Go every direction. Otherwise, it'll look like it's been brushed. Whereas I want it to look almost like someone came over here and tried to clean the center of a really old piece of furniture. Do I have any others?
No, there's just two big ones here.
What about that one in your hand now?
This one?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try that again, but I'm going to try it with some of this. These round brushes definitely make life easier.
Life easier. People always ask if you have to use an Annie Sloan brush to paint with Annie Sloan paint. And you absolutely don't. But what is the analogy you like to use, Shane?
It's like putting regular gas in a Ferrari. It's like putting unleaded in a Ferrari. Yeah, the engine might start and it might run, but it's not going to do what it's supposed to. It's not going to do like it could do. I'm going to take a little bit more cocoa here. I'm actually going to mix some of this cocoa with some of this pure that I have on this table. Give me a different shade of cocoa, not one that's not so harsh. And again, I'm just going to go in with another layer. Throwing in some of the cocoa into the corners and the crevices. Trying to catch some of these edges. Okay. Boom. Thoughts.
Very nice.
I mean, I'm nowhere near done.
Right, but...
Thoughts. Let's take some original. A little bit of ochre. A little bit of old white. This might help people too. Original ochre, old white. And I'm literally going to try and get one of all. It's like one of those pens that all has all the colors.
Neapolitan brush strokes.
Yeah. Do you see that? That's everything I wanted. That's everything I dreamed of. Age. Creating age. That cocoa did good.
Yeah.
Let's get another Neapolitan brushstroke.
Change sides.
More in here.
Yeah. Lighting's better on this end.
just with that original. Another thing I like to do is not like brush the paint on. I like to just kind of lay it on there. Like, do you see that?
Yeah, just set the paint down.
Kind of stipple it in. Again, I want this randomness. I want the imperfection. Are you catching it all, Miss Christie?
Yes,
Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I am.
Alright. Again, definitely need some more up here. Whatever this is. Here. We're gonna grab some of that.
More highlights. So I hope people realize that it's a lot of just playing. Have fun. You have an idea, get in there and try it. You don't like it, you can paint over it.
What time is it? How much more time do I have? It's 2:51. I'm about out of time. Okay, so on that note. On that note, any questions? I want to see what it looks like through the camera.
Yeah, show it off. It shows pretty well.
So on that note, it's not grabbing it the same way.
I was standing in the shadows when I was recording it. It helped. If you get close, you can really see the...
All right, so on that, I hope with the end of this, really what I wanted to get across is the different tones. You have darker here, you have lighter here, you have the texture. If you can see that beautiful little micro crackle? Like, you can really see easier on this. Little crackles. And just the differences in tones, the differences in colors. This thing is still far from done, but like I said, I didn't have very much time today, but I wanted to come on. It's been a very long time. Like JD said, just when you're painting something, have fun with it. If you're not having fun with it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. Anything else? Do you have any questions, Miss Christie? Tell me 3 things you learned today.
Layering. Not painting the way I was taught to, which is different, and make it look old, make it look aged instead of making it look brand new.
I mean, unless you want it to look brand new.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so on that note,
Things to look brand new.
If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and we will snag them later. Oh, cancel. I almost just brought somebody on here. I don't know. Things are getting crazy nowadays. Facebook gets more complicated by the day. On that note, see you later.
Bye, guys.